Hello, little ones. I'm Princess Guinevere. What are your names?
Goodly ladies, arrest thy steps. Thine hearts I wouldst make mine.
What the heck was that? Yep, Glitch have just dropped the pilot episode to their brand new series, Knights of Guinevere, and it might just be the biggest gamble Glitch have ever done. No, I'm not joking. This might actually be the biggest risk the studio has ever attempted, because not only does it play with fire by essentially calling out studios like Disney, but it also breaks new ground in a way we haven't seen on this bigger scale yet. What do I mean? Well, let's talk about it. Hey guys, it's the Pink King here, and for those of you who are unaware, Knights of Guinevere is actually quite a big deal in the indie space. Not only for it being made by Glitch, but also being the brainchild of one Dana Terrace, the creator behind the popular Owl House series. Now peeps, let me just say right off the bat, this might have been the most excited I've ever been for an upcoming animated pilot in a long time. I don't think I've been this excited to see an animated pilot since the Has Been Hotel pilot, as not only did the trailers for it look amazing, with the animation really standing out, plus the major lore possibilities, but also for the fact that this series is not here to play nice, but instead looking to set the animation world on fire. With tons of merchandise already, as well as clear implications that they're taking shots at Disney with the concept of this series, I was very excited going into it. So, what did I think after watching it? Twice, by the way. Well, I will say, it was amazing in a lot of areas, but was also kind of a disappointment in a big area that unfortunately did affect this pilot overall. But before we get into that, let's talk about what I actually did like about this pilot, and my god, there's a lot to appreciate, thankfully. First up, I'm loving the way they introduce us to this world. The environments of this dystopian city that's a mix between cyberpunk and 60s aesthetic. It works really well here and it feels so real. Every location, every setting we went to felt real. I felt like I could smell each location. I felt like I could touch every location and feel what it would be like. They really do a good job at sucking you into this world, with the very detailed animation perfectly executing the style that they're aiming for here. Plus, this episode was really good at keeping my attention. From the get-go, spoilers by the way, in case you haven't seen it yet, which you should, they start off with one of the robot Guineveres jumping off a building. It comes completely out of nowhere, and it immediately grabs my attention and does not let it go. The moment I saw that robot jump off a building, instantly hooked. Instantly. It was such a shocking moment that sets the tone for what's to come brilliantly. And speaking of tone, I was kind of surprised at how restrained they were on the horror aspect here, where a lot of shows like this will try to make a big splash right away with their horror and get as much as they could out there right away. Here they showed a surprising amount of restraint, and instead of being overly in your face with it, they more so plant the seeds of what we can expect in the future. And you know, it's fine, but it could come across as a little underwhelming depending on what it is you're looking for. But for me personally, I was fine with it. But what about the characters? After all, this is a pilot to a brand new series, and you can always tell how good a show's going to be based off how well they introduced the characters in the pilot. So, what did I think of them here? Well, I actually really enjoyed them. They were a bit bland at first, but the longer it went on and the more we got to see of Frankie and Andy, the more they started to grow on me. I found their dynamic to be quite charming, if not a little slow at times, but it was a good introduction into who they are roughly and their relationship with each other. And as for everyone else, there's not really much to talk about, because a lot of the other characters either mainly get nothing to do, or they barely show up that it's not worth really discussing. So, honestly, the characters here were pretty decent, but not amazing, I will say that. Now hold on peeps, If you're watching this video, then chances are you're a fan of art. Whether it be fine art, to comic art, to what the hell was even that art, then oh boy do I have a treat for you, because in 1 hour from now, that's right, 1 hour, I'm going to be uploading my most epic, my most fun, my biggest episode of my artist tournament series yet, where we put artists from around the world to the test in order to prove why AI is simply put inferior in every single way. But you're not going to want to miss this one, because this is the undisputed Artist Championship of the world. So if you want to support these incredible artists and have a fun time, then be sure to watch that video I will be uploading in an hour from now. It's already set to go live, so be sure to check it out. I appreciate all of the support, and I'll see you all there. But what about the animation, the main selling point of the series, if you will? After all, this is Glitch's first attempt at a fully 2D animated series, and it's not a simple style as well. They really jumped in the deep end here. Dana's style really shines through, and overall, I'd say that it's good enough. Don't get me wrong, most of the pilot looks very nice, with some absolutely gorgeous shots here and there. The scenery is absolutely breathtaking. However, the motion of it is very inconsistent at times. Now, it's not bad by any means, but there's a few times where the frame rate drop will become really noticeable, or the lip syncing will be quite off at times. It was a little rough, if you will. It definitely felt rushed, but I don't really blame it. After all, this is the pilot, and the first time they're working in this complicated new style, so inconsistencies like this are perfectly fine, and it could be a lot worse. Plus, when they shine, they really shine here, and I feel like the highs of this animation more than make up for the more rougher side so far. But it is something important to note, and hopefully something that they improve when the next episode comes out. However, now we need to talk about the main issue with this pilot, because as much as I love the world and I love the animation style, I was a little disappointed with the ending, mainly because it didn't feel satisfying enough. Let me put it into perspective for you guys. The beginning was really good, a great introduction that has my attention from the get-go. Then after that, they slow down for a little while in order to introduce the characters and establish the world, but they eventually begin to pick up again with a really intense climax, as this giant robot is chasing the group. However, despite them building it up really well and rising the tension to as high as it can go, they cut it a bit too short. It's a scene I feel like should have gone on longer than it really did, in order to get that proper payoff from the build-up. It kind of feels like there's a solid few minutes of missing footage, and unfortunately, that does make this ending feel a bit rushed overall, and definitely unsatisfying. Which is a shame, because compare this to the other pilots Glitch has done, like the Amazing Digital Circus and the Gaslight District. Those pilots, in my opinion, really made a statement in their ending. They really did something that made us feel like we had to see what happened next. Like, we couldn't just wait for it, we needed to know. But here, it really felt kind of anticlimactic, and like we were just rushing to get to the end. So I don't feel like I need to see what comes next, but more so I'll just check out what comes next. Which is a shame, because other than that, it's clear that they have a really strong vision going on here, with it being a very personal series to Dana Terrace. And it's clearly taking a lot of shots at Disney and exposing their toxic environment and culture that they have created in the industry, especially for upcoming artists such as Dana. Obviously, as someone who's made one of their most popular shows in recent years, Dana definitely has a lot to say here, and it's evident that the gloves are off. And you know what? I'm all here for it. For too long, we've had studios tampering with artists' visions like these, but now we officially have a platform for not only up-and-comers, but also established creatives to tell much more unique and outside-the-box stories. Now, will this set the world on fire like some of Glitch's other shows, like the Amazing Digital Circus? I don't think so. But again, that's what I've been saying for a while now. This show is a big gamble, much bigger than anything they've done before. It's high risk, high reward, and for me personally, I'm very interested to see what it is the future of this series is. And so overall, I must say that it's a great start, not a fantastic one unfortunately. But what did you guys think? Were you a fan of Knights of Guinevere, or were you a bit skeptical? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Also, don't forget to check out my Artist Tournament season finale. It's going to be a fun episode, and I can't wait to see you all there. But with that, peeps, it's been the Pink King here, and I will see you all next time.